was always fucking dope. Always something different.
Subscribe. Oh my gosh, guys. I was muted for my whole intro, and then I did an intro in bed that I'm not going to use because I was very lazy. But now we're sitting in the chair, back with the mic, on to the Dragon Quest X Solo Quest Chronicles. As you can see clearly here, there's some new characters, there's some new people. Let's say hello to a crew. We got Lloyd, Rain, and Presea here, along with a random slime that we love as well. He's doing work. I leveled up the slime a lot, by the way, over the last couple of parts. So he's actually crazy strong now, and he's probably never gonna die again, which is really awesome because I have that iron safe, and I'm glad I got it for no reason. But anyways, guys, we're here. Back in Dragon Quest X for another part of the solo quest. We have the new characters, we did the new intro. I hope everybody's having a good whatever day I upload this on. Remember to leave a like, remember to drop the sub. And I love ya. Remember, somebody loves ya. Today we're gonna talk about fun things. Fun things about your mind. I know you guys love the whole mind talks because I like altering things that we think about. This is very much a thinking channel, a thinking man's channel. So if you're ready for me, we're gonna talk about ways you can change your brain chemistry, therefore changing your regular energy. I don't know, your physical energy. Yeah, we'll call it physical energy, and then thusly changing your life. And I don't know why. I hope this is just my video player, but this is lagging a lot. I think it is just the video player, so I'm not going to worry about it. We're just going to vibe through. I'm not going to focus on the footage too much. I know I didn't record a bunch of laggy footage. I know that didn't happen, but whatever the world is, we're not gonna be put off by the vibes, okay? Because that is a lot of life. Before we even get started with this shit, we'll just talk about this because I talked about it on one of my short little shorts. Who wears short shorts? I wear short shorts. Is that karma doesn't interact off of vibe. Karma doesn't interact off of general actions or morals, or justice, true justice. Karma really interacts off of vibes. So the thing is, all these crazy people who just align themselves and become the person who they want to be, whether that person be a murderer or a thief or a liar or a cheat, the reason why karma gives them, the output or the expectation they deserve, at least for a little bit, that instant gratification, is because karma is interacting off of the vibe. And in that mode, to do something that evil, that conspicuous, you have to be aligned with yourself and fully think that you are doing this for the greater good. And who is the greater good? It is me, because I am the greater good. I am God. So that's what you have to really realize with these evil people, right? They're acting in their full alignment. But everyone, on the other side is just kind of lost and, hovering in between phases and being like, oh, I'm kind of good, but I like doing these bad things. I'm kind of bad, but I like doing these good things. And you have to be completely and 100%, 110% accepting of yourself. And that's when your aura is going to come out. That's when your vibe is going to just authentically, leak into all corners of the room. And those pathways, those trains that we take in our mind can lead us there. Every positive thought or negative thought is a new train. All you can do is you can watch it, or you can board it. Or you can board it and then get off really quick, or you can board it and stay there for a long time. The choice is generally yours, The choice is generally yours. And people love to, throw out these platitudes of, everything in life is just, set in stone and nothing really matters and blah, 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 and all this bullshit. But I think there are ways to change our brain chemistry. There are certain steps that you can do. I think it's like a 3-day process to just change your entire brain around, do 3 days of this. And I think you can build the mindset for the life you want. It's just, the problem with keeping it consistent and, sticking to your goals that a lot of people have problems with in life. uh, to achieve such a feat. But what I'm gonna go over today is just a simple three-step process. It's a simple thing, add to your day a little bit. I know we are dedicated to our phones, so if you have if you have over 5 hours of screen time a day, I feel like you can easily get this done. I feel like you have enough time. That's just me, you know? I don't know your life. I'm not there. I don't know what you do for work. I don't know how you get to work. I don't know how much sleep you get. I don't know how dirty your house is or how much you have to clean it. But what I do know is that you are holding on to energy that doesn't serve you. And and that's not how we progress in life. Your mindset is going to make up your social status. So if you want to elevate, you got to start it in the mind first, right? You got to start it in the mind first. So what we're going to do, guys, first thing we're going to start with is the morning. When we wake up, first thing when you wake up, eyes open, you got to wake up, put your hand on your chest, and you think, I am excited for this energy. You can even whisper it, you know what I'm saying? You can even say it, if you're not sleeping with someone. I am excited for this energy. I am letting go of the past and beginning my new life here. This day was made for me. And you just wake up and you say that every day. These powerful words and intentions, like I said, guys, all our thoughts are just trains. So right when we wake up in the morning, we are boarding the train of positive intentions. So that whatever you do in life, it is not only shedding the past version of yourself, getting him out of here, forgiving him, and beginning a new one so that you are stuck in your present and you're a little bit more self-aware of your feelings in the moment. And then you delude yourself for the future. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how this day's gonna go. I just know why it was created. I just know who the main character is. I know who the most important person in my life is right now. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Setting off with this clear intention instead of like let me juxtapose this with what you probably do in the morning already. So probably you have an alarm set maybe like hour, 30 minutes before work. When that motherfucker hits, you probably just grab your phone, turn your alarm off, and then scroll through some social media app, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Scroll through there for far too long, and then you have to get ready for work, and you go. And you may have just scrolled through in bed for like 30, 40 minutes. Sometimes you don't even make it out of bed. I have those days. I definitely have those days where I'm just like, you know what? Let me just turn the TV on, turn the TikTok on, turn the YouTube on. I'm just gonna goon all day. It's just gonna be goon day, G day, But if you want to be successful, you're gonna have to give up those days. You have to give up those days. No more 0 days. Just every day, you set that clear, positive intention, and you cannot fail because your mind is already there. And if you have this purpose in life, this thing that drives you, if you have this stupid MMO that you play every day, then you know what to do. You know what to do. You know what drives you forward. You know what gives you light. For me, it's this. It's purpose. It's creativity. It's writing. I love to do a lot of writing. I love to do a lot of speaking. I didn't realize I loved the podcast life as much as I did until I started doing it. But I do love the podcast life as well. And I think once you find that love, and you just keep doing it constantly, it's suddenly going to become harder for you to end the day without doing it. You're gonna be like, whoa, I didn't do that thing. I feel weird now. I gotta do it, Something in your system is going to shock you into it. And I have had those times where I'm just like, I don't feel like doing anything today. So you know what I do? You know what I do? You know what I do to solve this? This is gonna be crazy, guys. It's gonna be crazy, guys. So what I do when I don't feel like doing anything all day is I sit down and I don't do anything for maybe like 5 minutes. And then I feel like doing something. But when I say I don't do anything, I literally mean like I don't like put on music. I don't like, it's just like not even like meditating. I'm just like, let me just do nothing for 5 minutes. And not even before the 5 minutes ends, I'm like, you know what? I feel like doing something. You know? Yeah, I feel like doing. And it's usually work. It's usually the work I've been avoiding that I feel like doing. So like I'll have this on my mind where I'm just sitting there doing nothing. I'm like, yeah, that video, I really need to edit that. Or yeah, that song. There's a part that I in the mix that I just know I could tweak a little better. Or there's a performance part that I know I can. Oh, there's a little beat switch that I want to add. And, things just pop into my head that I want to do naturally. And I feel like more of us should just not think too hard about like the effort or the amount of work that they're putting in. You just gotta let it naturally flow. All the greatest creatives, artists, successful business people. I'll name two examples here. Michael Jackson did not force songs to come. He just said, I just want to like Billie Jean, who's like, I just want a song with a good bass line, and then he just thought that, and then he waited like fucking 2 days or something, and then Billie Jean just came to him. So it's like that, and then Mark Zuckerberg didn't like stay in his room for 4 summers just waiting for the fuck. He just started up in his basement. And he was like, well, we'll do Facebook. I guess why not? Who cares? So the thing is, success can happen at any time. You just have to put yourself out there every day. Take one step towards it. I don't care how small the step is. I don't care how big the step is. We can't have our past, future, and present self fight against each other. They all have to be best friends. So whatever you're doing now, whatever you're going to do in the future, and whatever you did in the past, all brought you to this point in your story. And you have to love that part of the story. Love all aspects of it. Because without that love, it's not going to grow and push us forward. You cannot push yourself forward through the hate. Especially not the self-hate. That don't work. That don't drive things forward. It's going to drive you forward to destruction at the end. That's what it leads to, essentially. But there's a proper way to use hate as fuel, and I feel like just off rip saying fuck the ruse. It's not the wisest way to go, in my opinion. So that's not the only part of this process. We have the morning, which is like whenever you wake up. I'm not really giving you a time for that, but I will give you a time for the midday. Midday is about 2 to like 6 to 5 p.m. And you want to do a recap of your day with a little bit of movement. I like taking a walk. You can do some exercises at home. You can do anything physical. You can do a little dance. You could even just do some stretches if you really don't feel like working out. You feel like you're at peak physical condition. You know, like all of us Americans are. I don't know if you're in Japan. A lot of people watch me from Japan. A lot of you guys are actually in really good physical condition. So you don't have to walk if you don't want to. But I like forming this with a walk here. And what you're gonna do on this walk is just recap. What small achievements have I made today? What goals have I reached today? And you want to make sure that you're going to the positive or the neutral in your assessments. Let's not beat ourselves up in this nice little afternoon area. Of course, you can talk about negative instances, but just watch your instincts, watch your defaults. Watch your habits of constantly going back to the negative stimuli, and see how that feels for you to just naturally give up a little bit of that self angst of yourself. Because like I said, they're all trains. All the thoughts that we have are just trains. And so you see that negative mindset train and you can just not board it. You can just see where it leads and just be like, okay, that's cool. That's an interesting thought that I had. And conversely, you can transform that train into a positive intention in the future. You know what I'm saying? Like during my walk yesterday, um, basically, I was thinking about the day and I was discussing what happened, and I realized, man, I have not like truly sat down and done my laundry, and I know I fucking need to. like I have enough like work clothes and everything, but like my sheets, I can like smell myself, and I was just beating myself up for that during this walk. Like you gotta go home, you gotta get that done, you gotta blah 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 blah. Blah. And I was like, let me turn this negative one around. Like I've done so many other things, and I've still gotten good sleep. Like my hygiene is still good, my works are still good. It's just the natural process of letting things fall in between the cracks. And then I gave myself an objective to do it today. So, guess what I'm doing today? I'm doing the laundry. Um, Main story here, for me especially, like I said, a lot of these lessons here are just for me to watch back later so that I know where my trajectory was, April of 2025. But just don't be too hard on yourself. We all have mistakes. Everything's gonna fall by the wayside. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's gonna be perfect. As soon as I get fucking 500 subscribers, I'm gonna want 1,000. As soon as I want 1,000, I'm gonna want 2,000. So, nothing's gonna be there. There's never gonna be a nice little bow to be put on it. You're never gonna just say, everything is perfect in life. So, with this midday recap, we are looking for improvements, but we are mostly just looking to make it through the rest of the day. This is where most people quit. This is like so midday 4 to 6 p.m. related back to Dragon Quest. This is where most people are in version 2. 4 to 6 p.m. And what they do, version 2, 4 to 6 p.m. is they quit. They quit. You know what? Like I've done enough today. I've made it through this much. I don't want any more achievements. I want to scroll on my phone through TikTok for the rest of the day. I want to do shit else. Fuck the rest of the day. Fuck the rest of the world. It's just me. That's what people think around this time, guys. And the sun is still up. I'm like, no. No, no, no. We will not be defeated, So with that in mind, with that concept in your head, you have to remind yourself that I'm doing different things. I'm on a different trajectory. I have a different vision for my life, and I'm not gonna give up. You have to repeat this every day, not just for the day, but for life, because that's the only way we lose. That's the only way we lose if we give up, and people are losing every single day, early. Now I want to talk about the end of the day. After you do your midday recap, you discuss what went wrong, what went right, get yourself on some positive affirmations and thoughts. In between the 4 to 6 and 7 and 9, this would be the time to interact with your significant other. This would be the time to give people that you love a call. This would be the time to do a little extra work if you want to. That's what I do, because I love things more than people at this point in my life, and no one really values my connection anymore. Well, that's a lie. But the people that value my connection do not want to tell me. They want me to crawl at their feet and beg for them to talk to them. And of course I don't want to do that. I don't think anybody wants to do that. It's just so sad when you realize that, like, a lot of the things that you talk to people about, they don't really care about. And a lot of the conversations you have with people that you find weren't really, I don't know, worthwhile. Those are the things that people connect with the most. And that's just a little frustrating for me, as someone who's just vehemently seeking knowledge, not really vehemently seeking things like connection. It's naturally going to separate me from the herd, essentially. And I don't feel like compromising my knowledge, my trajectory for a little bit of comfort. A little bit of distraction, because in my eyes, at least the people in my life right now, that's all they serve. That's the only purpose they serve. Just a distraction, just a replacement for, what is missing in my heart. When in reality, I can just look deeper and find what I need and become whole. But I'm tired of distracting myself from myself. We're gonna figure this motherfucker out. He's too weird. He's too different. We have to delve deeper. So, that's what I'm doing. At the end of the day, what I want you to do after you do your end of the day activities, and there's no guidelines for the day here, guys. I'm not gonna tell you how to live your best self improvement life. Nobody cares about that. It's just all mindset. At the end of the day, 7 to 9 p.m. is your time frame. What you want to do is put your hand on your chest again. Do a 15-minute recap. This time I'm giving you a time frame for how long it is. Now, the reason I say I want it to be 15 minutes is because I feel like this is the perfect time frame to go through your 3 phases of the day. You take 5 minutes for each. You take 5 minutes for morning, afternoon, and night. And I want you to go over positive events, but not just a positive event. I want you to go over your mind state during. And just be aware of where your emotions and how they dictated your mind state. Be aware of that dichotomy or that connection in this recap. That's what we're really gonna focus on. We're really gonna focus on during the recap your emotions, your emotional state. And all information is helpful. I would recommend you take notes. But yeah, you can focus on some negative too. Maybe it was just a bad day, you know? You focus on the negative, sure. Just don't board the train. Because we're building a positive mind to influence our world in a positive way, right? So when I say do this recap, I mean monitor all emotional states, monitor all emotional events, and these are all pertaining to us. I'm not saying, write a dictionary of everyone else's reaction at work, or, my boss said this to me, what I'm saying, he's an asshole. No, it's like, the guys, how did that make you feel? Who cares even what he said? I would even stray from adding too many details about what specifically happened in the event. We're focusing all this internally on ourselves in these notes. And what we're doing here is making the invisible visible. Because the world is huge, but people don't realize how expansive our internal worlds really are. They're extremely expansive. A lot of people have more inside of you than is at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. You just don't want to go there because it's too scary. So you get a bunch of friends to distract yourself. You get a bunch of video games to distract yourself. You watch a bunch of YouTube videos to distract yourself. You watch a bunch of nasty, dirty porn videos to distract yourself. You know what I'm saying? We're so deep. We have so much in us. I assure you, if you just look at it, you'll find it. And with these recaps, what you're doing is you're finding out your direction. Where do you generally want to lead yourself? Or where are you generally leading yourself right now, mentally? Because that's where it starts. That's where your path is made, in the mind. So really sit back and ask yourself. It's not about having the perfect thoughts. It's not about having the perfect life or the perfect energy. It's about the direction. It's not about perfection. It's about direction. So I know I'm over here all preaching positive, 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 but it's okay if these negative thoughts arise, guys. Okay, so I guess I'll talk about this because I don't think I've talked about this too much. Mental illnesses are fun, and I have one, and I love mine. It is paranoid schizophrenia. It's what I've been diagnosed with so far, but I don't take any of these too seriously, these diagnoses, because doctors really don't know you like you know you, because guess what? They're not you. They're just kind of like educatedly guessing from all the bullshit that they've stuffed into their brains over like the past 4 to 8 years. Right? So the thing about mental illnesses like paranoid schizophrenia is that there is high neuroticism. And I didn't understand this at first. For the longest part of my life, I didn't get this. This basically means that I just detect a lot more negative stimuli than the average person, you know? But that all goes on in the mind, essentially. If you would ever meet me in real life, you'd think I'm a very positive, nice, and kind person. The dichotomy with that is that because of my high neuroticism, I view a lot of things negatively and I view a lot of people as out to get me. I just don't push that energy out into the world. I trap it all inside. I trap it all inside, and sometimes, well, a lot of times back in the past, but sometimes now, that makes me feel very inauthentic. And the thing about authenticity, guys, it's honestly just doing what we truly want in the moment. And I may not like actually love everyone, but I do generally want to be left alone, right? There's one part. And I do generally want people to have positive and high opinions of me. Now, the problem with that, and the problem with the people having high opinions of, well, see, the problem with people having opinions of you at all is that they're going to talk about you. And I really hate gossip. I hate gossip because when it comes back to me and something about me is spread that I did not, inherently dictate or start the facts of, it just kind of, it doesn't hurt me. It just irks me, just because I'm so tired of people being sheep and going off of the opinions of others. You know what I'm saying? Like when I first meet someone and I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing? And they're all nice to me or whatever. And I go talk to one of my friends later about this person, and they're all like, oh yeah, that person's an asshole. You should talk to them or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm saying they were nice to me. Yeah, I don't say that in the moment, of course, because that's just gonna spark up a bunch of other shit. But they were nice to me, so I'm not gonna hold that grudge against them. I'm gonna treat them exactly how they treated me. I don't care how they treated you. You don't realize this, but the sad thing about friends is that whenever someone tells you this person was mean to me, it's probably because of them. It's probably because of some kind of altercation with them, not the person they're talking about. It's probably not about them at all, honestly. And people don't realize that the fact that they need to bring this up to you and not explicitly discuss it with them means that they are more insecure about other people liking other people than you actually liking the person in front of them. You know what I'm saying? And that to me is fucking crazy. Like, you're gonna spend less than 1% of your life with this other person that you're talking about. Why are they in your mouth? Why are they in your mouth? You know what I'm saying? They mean nothing to you. And the most horrible realization about this is that a lot of people really, they really do mean nothing to them. They're just trying to spread fire, spread vile. You know what I'm saying? They want the drama. They feed off the drama. You really have to watch out for people like this. Especially guys who gossip. A lot of them are just drama feeders. And I never really knew how to combat drama for the longest time until I realized the power of silence. And my silence dictates my direction. Now that I know this, now that I know I'm not being an asshole by not talking to people, now that I've unlocked the cheat code of essentially walking my own path and dictating who I want to interact with. I feel like it just makes a lot of people witness their own energy. When you have this elevated level of self-awareness, it makes people more aware of themselves. You sort of use the mirror technique, And of course, it's not our job. It's not our job to awaken everyone and be like, oh, this is how you should be. Who cares? Honestly, who cares? You want to be lost for the rest of your life? That's cool. But not everyone is deserving of your energy. You have to realize that being on call and saying yes to everyone and hanging out with everyone who wants to hang out with you, no matter what your opinion is, it's not going to serve you. It's not going to serve them either. It's to everyone's detriment, if you are not interacting with your full purpose and working with your full potential. know what it is. We all know what we need to do in general. In general, I'd say your purpose is whatever you wake up in the morning you can't stop thinking about. I don't care what the fuck that is. And people need to stop making fun of people who like playing video games. You know what I'm saying? Just become a content creator. Motherfuckers are out here getting a camera, sitting on the damn table, and just talking about life, you know? So why can't you do that with video games? You love gaming so much. Get some gameplay, guys. Like nobody cares. There's so many different ways to make content. There's so many different avenues to travel down. You just have to find what works for you. And once you find that, that's your main prerogative. Everyone else with this, hey, come do this, hey, come do this, hey, come hang out here, hey, come hang out. No, fuck all of that shit, dog. If you haven't gotten what you wanted to do done today, you know, then everybody else can kick rocks. Got a little level up there. 39 on the heel slide. But yeah, guys, we're changing our brains today. We're changing our brains and our minds. A lot of people don't want to do this work, you know? And I feel like that's why we're all stuck and we're all depressed and we're all broke. But it is a lot of luck. It is a lot of the system. And this is why I don't knock anybody not on this path. I'm on the path. I've been on the path for a little bit, and it's not gumdrops and rainbows. As a matter of fact, most days I don't feel like doing anything. Most days it's really fucking shitty and really fucking lonely. And I wonder if this will ever produce any results. But then I realized I don't care. Then I realized there's a reason I took almost 2 years off of any content. Because I had to make sure I actually wanted to do it. So I was just recording, creating, making, not posting. Playing video games. I just did what I wanted to do. And for the longest time I hated the idea or the concept of the fame and all this bullshit and all the annoying trash that comes with making a bunch of content online, you know, mostly just, like I said, gossip. Not a fan. Not a fan. Also not a fan of having a rabid, disgusting fan base, but I feel like your fan base is just a reflection of you, you know? I've watched a lot of content creators, I've seen a lot of fan bases, and yeah, they just do reflect the content. So all I need to do is make stuff that I actually like to listen to, and then, you know, good people will come. I'm sure you're a good person. You like the podcast, you like Dragon Quest, so you're obviously a good person. I don't think I've met one person, well, in real life, I have met one person who told me they like Dragon Quest, and they were weird as fuck. I don't even really know if they like Dragon Quest, but I've never met anyone in real life or in this game who was an asshole. Or who is generally a terrible person. Like, I feel like if you like Dragon Quest, you're just like, you know, you're like a classic fan of the nuclear family. You know what I'm saying? You're like that guy or girl. But anyways, we're about done with this one. It's gonna be the last little cutscene of 2.1. Go lucky numbers there. And after 2.1, start the next version. 2.2. We love the Tales of Symphonia. You know what I'm saying? It's a good RPG, so I hope you guys like this this cosplay that I'm doing here. We've had it in the bank for a while, and I do have quite a few awesome mashups for you. Enjoy the music. Always remember that you are loved, no matter what. And definitely remember to love all aspects of yourself. The three me's, right? Because you have your past you have your future you, and of course you have your present you. A lot of times we don't remember that we are loved. We forget. This happens to me a lot. There's just so much hate, so much neuroticism in my mind. I really think everyone's out to get me. And this is why I don't text people a lot. Almost every text I read, I automatically sense as it being negative first. And on top of that, if you don't text me for too long, also go just directly to negative. Like, I have to fight that. And I don't know how to cultivate the self-love I need. in order to change my brain chemistry to just be okay with the fact that other people are just living, you know? Just living. Because I really do consider, I just think about a lot of things. I consider a lot of different possibilities when texting people. Like, and the paranoid schizophrenia, the awareness, you know what I'm saying? It brings all these scenarios in and all this bullshit, you know? So we forget that we're loved. We forget that the person we're texting, person who is texting us, we are inherently, genuinely made of love. So the first thing you want to do with that love, that is you, spread it on yourself. Spread it on yourself. Because if it's not all over yourself, if you're not made of it, if you aren't the essence of it, you're going to fall into those negative traps that I have in my mind. It's very easy, for me to just default and crash out and send a long text to someone like, you didn't tell me about you know what I'm saying? Like, unless there are a bunch of heart emojis and love and laugh and all that, if it's a neutral text, I'm probably gonna portray it as negative. Even if sometimes if you're loving me, I'm gonna portray it as negative. You know what I'm saying? If you say, yeah, Marcus, I have a giant cookie for you, I'm gonna portray it as negative. Like, it's really crazy how my defaults are. But like, you don't have to have it that way. I want to assure you that you don't have to have it that way. I thought you did for a while, but it's just like the river. You are not that river. You are standing outside of the river looking at the water flow. And you see that part where the river comes in, and the water connects to the lake right there, that little, and it's rushing, it's kind of like a mini waterfall right there. You know what I'm saying? Those are the negative thoughts right there. But you're watching the river, right? So you can watch that part and then watch where it flows in, when it becomes calm and when it becomes smooth and the rivers are, you dip your hand in there. Reach out, you know what I'm saying? The water is cold. It's cold, but there's the warmth to it, you know what I'm saying? There's little sediments and minerals you can feel right under the shallow waters right there. And you can just look at that too, you know what I'm saying? They're both parts of the river. Both parts of the river, but you have a choice. You have a choice on what you decide to look at. You have a choice on what side of the river you want to interact with. So make your choices. Make your choice to subscribe. Please subscribe. Drop a like if you like. Please drop a like. You made it this far, guys. You want to drop a like and you made it this far? It's okay. It's okay. I still love you. Someone still loves you, and I think you should love yourself. That's my opinion. And that is all I have for you this day. Whatever day I upload this on. Everyone have a good one. And I'll see you later. Okay. Stop being weird.